You might think prayers are just wish lists sent into the void, but what if that's dead wrong? What if there's a prayer so powerful it doesn't just ask, but activates real blessings every single day? Psalm 147 isn't your average chapter. It's a bold declaration that God deeply desires to bless your life and bring you happiness beyond what you've imagined. Think of this as your secret weapon against life's chaos, a spiritual lifeline that connects you to angels and divine power. Ready to uncover how a simple, strong prayer can flip your whole day, and maybe your whole life, on its head? Let's dive in. There's something deeply comforting about knowing that God's heart beats for our happiness and blessings. Imagine a prayer that reaches beyond the usual, "Please help me," and taps into a divine promise, one where God actively desires to fill your life with joy and abundance. This isn't just hopeful thinking. It's a truth wrapped in the words of Psalm 147, inviting believers to lean into a relationship where blessings flow like a gentle stream. Think of it as an open invitation to receive the good that God longs to pour into your days. When praying, it helps to picture God not as distant, but as a loving mentor ready to shower your life with gifts you didn't even ask for yet. This prayer, inspired by Psalm 147, captures that essence perfectly. It's a moment to align your heart with God's will, knowing He delights in blessing you. And here's a practical tip. When you pray, don't rush. Take time to speak your heart, as if you're chatting with a trusted friend who happens to be the creator of angels and stars. Now, before jumping ahead, it's worth noting how this prayer sets the tone for everything else we'll explore. It's like opening the door to a room filled with hope, faith, and divine care. As you settle into this mindset, you're preparing yourself to understand the grandeur of God's power, the healing He offers, and the wisdom that underpins His blessings. It's not just about asking, it's about receiving with an open and grateful heart. Psalm 147 paints a stunning portrait of God's greatness, reminding us that He's the ultimate healer of broken hearts. It's like He's got this special touch that no doctor or therapist can match. Imagine coming to Him with your deepest hurts. He not only listens, but mends what seems impossible to fix. This healing isn't just physical, it's soul deep, giving hope where despair once lived. You can almost hear angels whispering encouragement as you pray, knowing you're in the care of a divine healer. What's even more mind-blowing is how God names every star in the sky. Think about that for a second. Billions upon billions of stars, each one known and loved by Him. That kind of wisdom and power? It's beyond human comprehension. This detail is a reminder that if God cares about something as vast and distant as stars, He certainly cares about you and your everyday struggles. Next time you feel insignificant, just look up and remember you're held by the same hand that named those stars. This awe-inspiring wisdom and power are not just for show, they're actively at work in the world and in your life. God's unmatched understanding means He sees beyond the surface, knows your needs before you do, and moves in ways you can't always see but can definitely feel. So when you pray, remember this. You're connecting with a God whose greatness is a promise that He can handle every problem, big or small, with infinite care. There's a beautiful balance in the way God deals with people, especially highlighted in Psalm 147. He lifts up the humble, those who walk through life without arrogance, trusting quietly and faithfully. It's like He's got a soft spot for the underdogs, the ones who don't shout their worth but let their hearts speak volumes. If you've ever felt overlooked or small, remember this. Humility isn't weakness. It's the doorway to divine favor and elevation. On the flip side, the psalm doesn't shy away from saying that God punishes the wicked. It's not about being harsh for the sake of it, but about justice, keeping balance in a world that can sometimes feel upside down. Think of it like a coach who disciplines a player not to punish, but to teach and redirect. This justice reassures believers that evil doesn't get the last word, and there's a higher power watching over the scales. Most importantly, God blesses those who fear Him, not in a scared, trembling way, but with deep respect and trust, and those who cling to His love. This fear is really about reverence and choosing to align life with God's wisdom. Picture a loving parent who always wants the best for their child. God's blessings flow abundantly to those who choose that trust daily. When you pray with this mindset, you tap into a wellspring of grace that transforms every corner of your life. When praying, it's powerful to ask God to bless every area of your life, just like the prayer inspired by Psalm 147 encourages. Picture it as a holistic blessing, covering family ties that keep you grounded and hearts connected. Whether it's smoothing out conflicts or deepening bonds, this kind of prayer invites peace and love to flow freely at home. For example, try setting aside a few minutes each morning to pray specifically for your loved one's well-being. Watch how it shifts the atmosphere around you. Health is another crucial area where blessings matter deeply. The prayer gently asks God for strength and healing, reminding believers that their bodies are temples worth cherishing. Practical step? Pair your prayer with small habits like drinking water, getting enough sleep, and going for a walk. God's blessings work best when we cooperate with them. It's not magic alone, but a divine partnership that nurtures your body and spirit. Of course, finances and love life aren't left out. The prayer reaches out for provision and harmony, trusting that God can turn struggles into opportunities. Maybe it's a job search or restoring trust in a relationship. Either way, the prayer holds space for hope and renewal. Spiritually, this blessing grounds believers firmly in faith, empowering them to walk confidently even when life throws curveballs. It's like having angels quietly cheering you on as you journey through each challenge. Nature speaks volumes about God's provision, beautifully symbolized in Psalm 147. Think about rain gently falling, coaxing seeds to sprout and the earth to bloom. Just like God's blessings nourish our lives in unseen but powerful ways. When you pray, imagine those raindrops as tiny miracles bringing growth to areas you thought were dry or barren. It's a reminder that even the smallest drop can spark flourishing. Snow and frost might seem harsh at first glance, but they're part of the divine plan too, showing God's control over every detail. Just like frost can protect certain plants by slowing growth at the right time, sometimes life's challenges act as preparation for better seasons. Embracing this helps you trust that even tough moments have purpose, guided by a wisdom far beyond us. Then there's the wind, unseen but mighty, obeying God's commands without question. It moves mountains, clears paths, and refreshes the spirit. In prayer, envision the wind as God's breath, sweeping away worries and bringing new life to your dreams. This natural imagery teaches that divine provision isn't random, it's intentional, precise, and always aligned with what's best for you. Faithfulness isn't just a nice idea. It's the cornerstone of a life fully blessed, as Psalm 147 gently nudges us to remember. Imagine it as staying on a narrow but sturdy path while the noisy world pulls you every which way. The prayer encourages believers to keep their eyes on God alone, trusting Him exclusively, even when distractions seem louder. A practical way? Try setting daily reminders to pause and pray, recentering your focus on what truly matters amid life's chaos. Turning away from worldly distractions means saying no to quick fixes that only scratch the surface, and yes to lasting peace that comes from God's guidance. Think about how easy it is to get caught up in social media, endless news, or chasing success that never satisfies. This prayer invites a reset, a commitment to tune into God's voice above the static. Practicing silence, even for 5 minutes a day, can make a world of difference in hearing that still, small whisper. Committing to God's guidance transforms life from a confusing maze into a purposeful journey. The prayer isn't a one-time event, but a daily vow to walk hand in hand with the Creator, whose wisdom outshines any advice you'll find elsewhere. Picture angels as faithful companions, cheering you on as you make choices rooted in faithfulness. This kind of trust builds a foundation no storm can shake. If you felt touched by this prayer journey inspired by Psalm 147, here's a simple way to keep that blessing flowing daily. By subscribing to the channel, you're joining a community committed to faith, encouragement, and divine connection. It's like having a front row seat to daily inspiration, prayers, and uplifting messages designed just for you. Don't be shy about leaving your prayer requests in the comments. This channel is a place where angels seem to gather around every heartfelt plea. Sharing your struggles or hopes invites collective prayer, making sure you're never alone in your battles or dreams. Plus, it opens the door for others to witness miracles sparked by your faith and honesty. Liking and sharing the videos might seem small, but it's a powerful way to spread blessings far beyond your own circle. Imagine your friends, family, or even strangers receiving the same encouragement and prayers that have brightened your day. It's a ripple effect of hope and grace, all started with a simple click. So go ahead, be part of something bigger, and watch how the blessings multiply. Now that you've discovered the powerful truths behind Psalm 147's prayer, the real question is, how will you put this into practice today? Are you ready to open your heart fully to God's blessings and trust Him to work in every area of your life? Imagine waking up each morning knowing angels are standing guard, and your prayers aren't just words but a bridge to divine favor. What's one area in your life right now that could use a fresh burst of God's love and power? Take a moment to reflect, pray intentionally, and watch how that commitment begins to transform your world. If this journey spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss future prayers and insights designed to uplift and empower your spiritual walk. Share your thoughts and prayer requests in the comments. Let's build a community where we lift each other up and celebrate the blessings that flow. Remember, the path to a blessed life starts with faith, but it grows with community and action. So, are you ready to step into that life today?